wait. This fish can solve physics problems that most humans would need a calculator for. And scientists have verified proof. Archerfish calculate refraction angles, adjust for distance, predict trajectories, all in milliseconds. This isn't instinct. This is mathematics happening in a brain the size of a peanut. I'm going to show you the brain scans that prove it. But first, you need to see what they can actually do. Archerfish live in Southeast Asian mangroves and rivers. They eat insects. But here's the problem. Their prey lives above water. So evolution gave them a solution. They shoot a precisely aimed water jet that can knock an insect off a branch 2 meters away. But the physics challenge: water refracts light. What they see isn't where the insect actually is. So how do they hit their target? Scientists at the University of Milan asked this question. If light bends when it enters water, and the fish is looking up at prey through that bent light, it should miss every shot. But archerfish have a 94% hit rate. Something didn't add up. So they built a lab, slow-motion cameras, controlled experiments, and what they discovered rewrote what we thought was possible in a fish brain. Here's the first piece of evidence. Watch this slow-motion footage. The fish adjusts the angle of its mouth before shooting. Not random, calculated. Frame-by-frame analysis shows the fish compensates for refraction before the water leaves its mouth. It knows the light is bending, and it corrects for it. This is the Milan University footage that changed everything. But here's what nobody was asking. How? What's happening in that tiny brain? Because this isn't just aim and shoot. The fish has to calculate the refraction index of water, measure the distance to prey, adjust for prey size, and compute velocity. That's trigonometry in a fish. If this kind of scientific investigation is new to you, you're in the right place. We expose what mainstream nature documentaries skip every week. The researchers tested this with precision. They placed insects at different heights, different distances, different angles. The fish adjusted every single time. Stop. Before I show you the brain structure that makes this possible, you need to understand what these adjustments actually mean. The fish isn't guessing. It's computing ballistic trajectories, like a sniper calculating bullet drop. Here's the physics problem. When light travels from air to water, it bends. The angle of refraction depends on the refractive index, about 1.33 for water. So an insect sitting 10 centimeters above water appears to be in a different location. The fish brain has to reverse calculate this. It sees the apparent position, but shoots at the real position every single time. But here's where it gets darker. I have brain imaging data that shows exactly which neural circuits are doing this math. You'll see it at minute 12. But first, if you had to calculate refraction angles and ballistic trajectories in your head in under a second, while hungry, you couldn't do it. Most of us need a calculator for basic trigonometry. This fish does it unconsciously. Every hunt, dozens of times a day. Quick question. Could you calculate a refraction angle without a calculator? Type yes or no below. I want to see how we compare. The fish also adjusts water jet velocity, small insect close by. Low velocity, large beetle, 2 meters away. High velocity. The Milan team measured this. The fish calculates projectile motion, the arc, the drop, the impact point. And they said it was just instinct. This data proves it's computation. Send this to anyone who thinks animals don't think. Because this fish is thinking harder than most people. How did this evolve? Millions of years ago, Archerfish ancestors that could aim slightly better got more food. They survived. They bred. Over time, natural selection favored the best calculators, the ones that could compensate for refraction fastest, the ones whose brains could process trajectories most accurately. Evolution built a biological computer, not for philosophy or art for lunch, but the result, mathematical ability that rivals human engineering. But here's the system nobody talks about. Wait, I know what you're thinking. This is impressive, but it's still just a fish. Let me show you why that thinking is exactly what we're conditioned to believe. We're taught humans have intelligence, animals have instinct, that binary is propaganda. Because when a fish can solve physics problems unconsciously that require us to use calculus, that's not instinct. That's a different kind of intelligence, one we're only beginning to understand. Here's the study that proves it, published in Nature. Researchers mapped the Archerfish's predictive motor control. There's a dedicated pathway right here in the Mothner cell circuit, specifically for trajectory calculation. It's not a general-purpose brain region. It's a specialized calculator. Evolution built dedicated hardware for ballistics. Remember that refraction problem I mentioned earlier? This is the neural circuit that solves it. This is why I investigate animal cognition. Subscribe if you want to see what else they're hiding, because fish are just the beginning, but we're not done. This is about redefining intelligence itself. For centuries, we drew a line. Humans, rational thought, animals, programmed behavior. But when a fish demonstrates reasoning, where's the line? If evolution gave a fish this level of computation, what other animals are hiding abilities we haven't discovered yet? Let me show you. Since the Archerfish studies, scientists found crows using compound tools, octopuses solving 8-stage puzzles, bees understanding the concept of zero, elephants recognizing themselves in mirrors, dolphins calling each other by name, rats showing empathy. Every year, we discover another species doing something we thought only humans could do. The pattern is clear. We've been wrong about animal intelligence for centuries, and we're still wrong about most species. But here's what this really means for us. For thousands of years, we justified human dominance by claiming we're the only intelligent species, the only ones who think, the only ones who reason, the only ones who matter. This fish challenges that entire worldview. They don't teach this in schools. They don't show it in textbooks. Now you know what neuroscientists have known for a decade. Intelligence exists on a spectrum, not a binary. Have you ever underestimated an animal and been proven wrong? Share your story below. These moments reshape how we see the world. And here's the part about you, because I saved the most disturbing evidence for last. A chart that proves this exact pattern of discovery is accelerating. In 1950, we knew about 5 species with mathematical abilities. In 1990, 12 species. In 2010, 37 species. In 2025, we're finding new examples every month. The data suggests we've only scratched the surface. Let me show you what's happening right now. Artificial intelligence researchers are studying Archerfish. Why? Because these fish solve trajectory problems with minimal power. A fish brain runs on 12 milliwatts. Your smartphone uses 5,000 milliwatts. DeepMind Lab 2024. Same problem. Different rooms. Same solution. Neural networks that calculate physics. We're learning from fish how to build better AI. Check your phone. The next generation of computer vision algorithms. inspired by how Archerfish brains process refraction. Send this to anyone working in AI, because nature invented these algorithms millions of years before Silicon Valley. Here's the 2024 context. Bio-inspired neural networks based on visual processing are proving to be more efficient. Same accuracy, less power. See this research. Same trajectory optimization the fish uses. Same neural structure, the Nature study, documented at minute 12. Same refraction compensation from minute 3. You will see this technology in your next phone camera. The algorithm running your autofocus, learned from a fish. Subscribe to understand where this technology is headed. Because what animals know, we're just beginning to learn. So here's what we know. A fish can do mathematics, not metaphorically, literally. It calculates refraction, velocity, trajectory, unconsciously, instantly, accurately. Evolution built a biological computer for one purpose, lunch. But the result challenges everything. Here's my controversial take. We don't have a monopoly on thought. We never did. What we call human intelligence is one implementation. But crows, octopuses, dolphins, elephants, and yes, archerfish, they're running different code for the same result. Survival through computation. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, but you can't unknow this. Every time you see an animal now, you'll wonder, what is it calculating that we don't understand yet? And what should I investigate next? Drop your suggestion below. The most interesting one becomes the next deep dive, because this is just one fish. There are 10 million species left to study, but this story connects to something even bigger. Because while archerfish calculate trajectories, there's another animal that sees 16 colors, mantis, shrimp, and the way they process visual information. It's breaking our understanding of neuroscience. That investigation drops next week. If these verified discoveries matter to you, subscribe and hit the bell. I investigate what mainstream science skips every week. New evidence, new species, new understanding. Click here for mantis shrimp vision, or check this one if you missed our crow intelligence study. The pattern connects. See you there.